startup animation studio or even an established one, this masterclass is for you. Our next set of presenters are two ladies who have an unmatched depth of knowledge and are well connected in the television production, distribution, and broadcast communities across international trade media. They have a respected and outstanding track record, having worked globally with producers, distributors, financiers, IP owners and creators, licensors and broadcasters. The live chat feature is where you can ask these ladies all the questions that you may have. Now help me welcome AIMEE Norman and Janet BALMFORTH of the DDA Group with their presentation on marketing your studio.
Good morning, Kingston. Welcome to Promote and Market Your Animation Studio using the 360-degree approach. My name is AIMEE Norman and this is my business partner, Janet BALMFORTH. We have over 25 years experience in international television corporate communications with extensive knowledge of the animation sector. So as a bit of background, we look after the publicity for the Kids Screen Summit and the Children's Media Conference in the UK. And we also handle PR for some of the world's leading animation producers and distributors and studios. We have clients including WildBrain and Portfolio in Canada, Zealam in France, One Animation and Omen Studios in Singapore, Cosmos Maya in India, Gutsy in Finland, and Novel and Daryl McQueen here in the UK. Sadly, we don't have any clients in Jamaica, but yes, that might all change.
Hi, just to give you a little bit of an overview of what we're going to cover in our presentation today. We're going to be looking at PR and marketing and how the two things differ. We will also take a look at social media and how to work with your agency to get the best from it, looking at all the different communication tools. In a nutshell, marketing and PR are so important to successfully grow any business. You know, how will new creative partners, buyers or commissioners find out about your studio unless you tell them? Marketing and PR are the most effective and efficient way to share your company's message.
So what is marketing? There's sometimes a little bit of confusion around the difference between PR and marketing. So we'll just go through each in turn. So if you think about marketing, it's like setting up your shop window. It showcases what you do with the intention of attracting your target market. You can't as easily get the attention of maybe creative partners, commissioners, buyers, or audiences unless they know about you and they know what you do. Marketing also helps you define your brand. So if you think about what you do and what you buy, what attracts you to that particular product or brand, and how did you find out about it? Often we may have seen adverts that impressed us, or there might have been a promotion that compelled us to find out more, or even just an image we wanted to like. But more than that, marketing helps sustain that connection so that your target audience may come back for more rather than go elsewhere. So in animation terms, this can make you a trusted supplier of a particular type of content. Commissioners or creative partners know what you do, and sustained marketing can ensure they check back to see what you're working on next and learn more about what defines you as a studio or maybe a producer.
So we're also looking at what PR is and the way it differs to marketing. As AIMEE was saying, marketing is very much for paid for media, whereas PR is earned media. While you can't exactly dictate what is said as you can with marketing, PR is effective as it delivers an independent validation of your company and work. Often you're covered by respected journalists, which adds gravitas to your message. A strong, strategically timed news story can achieve coverage across multiple outlets, reaching a global audience, highlighting the message that your business is successful. As an example, we recently announced the appointment of a senior executive at a renowned animation studio. She said that she felt like a rock star. She had so many positive messages of congratulations. And from that one press release, she's now had numerous really impressive international projects pitched her way.
So we've learned a little bit about the difference between PR and marketing, but just think of it sort of in a nutshell. We've learned how marketing is paid media and PR is earned media. So we think of it in terms of maybe owning a restaurant. Marketing is potentially like building up a client base through advertising, flyers, or even just promoting your menu online. And PR is like inviting a respected restaurant reviewer to come and maybe sample your food and tell everybody how delicious it is. I think probably another main difference it's worth pointing out is the comparative reach of PR compared to marketing. Often, you know, maybe one paid advert will just be one page in one magazine in a particular month with a targeted audience. But publicity often has further reach across multiple outlets. So if you have a news story, you can often spread that far and wide.
We thought it might be useful to just explain some of the differences and the different tools you can use for PR and marketing as we have on the slide here. As a brief overview, press releases, we use those to announce significant news at the company, whether it's a business deal, a new project, a show you're launching, we would time that strategically at key points in the industry calendar. Editorial interviews is an ongoing way of profiling your company, even when there's no significant news to announce. Inclusion in features in the trades adds weight to your message and positions you as an industry expert. Opinion pieces in the trades are also an excellent way of showing your industry knowledge and give your company international profile. Thought leadership, panel opportunities are becoming increasingly important, and actually with the pandemic this year, they've been opened out to a much more global audience, which has been really useful. So sitting on panels at key industry events such as Kids Screen Summit, AIMEE, Children's Media Conference, and of course Kingstown, not only shows that you're an expert, but it opens multiple opportunities for potential partners to hear you and subsequently contact you if they have a project that might be of interest. Media meetings are key, getting to know the journalists, getting to know their landscape. In a normal world, we would advise using key marketing festivals to sit down with journalists for a relaxed coffee or a drink. Sparing your time to get to know the journalists without expecting column inches often actually results in column inches down the line as they become known to you and you become a trusted expert and spokesperson. Marketing opportunities are much more self-explanatory, and I guess we come across them, in a more day-to-day basis, and they do have their place in the communications mix. Advertising, taking a page in a trade magazine can work really well if you're launching a new show. Sponsoring a session or a badge or a bag at a key industry event will get your name seen and show commitment to the industry. Likewise, flyers and event bags are a great way to get to a mass audience, but in a paperless world, they're becoming a little less attractive. Clever marketing via branded gifts is a nice way to introduce property to key broadcast execs or journalists. And again, when we're all back in the real world and at markets and festivals, dinners and cocktail parties are a really nice way to informally introduce yourselves or your new show to the industry and to buyers. And then there are social media tools, which we'll come on to a little later.
Okay, so we have an idea of how we could potentially use PR and marketing and what they are. Once you've decided they're a good idea, how do you get started? I think the first thing is to spend some time planning what you want to say and who you want to say it to and what you want to achieve by that message. So set yourself some clear goals and make sure that these steer everything that you do. So there's no point spending money if it's not going to add anything to your business success. Spend a bit of time thinking about what makes you stand out. Why should a commissioner or a creative partner, awards body investor, or anyone you're targeting choose you particularly? To know how to clearly describe yourself and your work. And it's important to be honest and believe in what makes you different. You don't need to try and claim to be the next somebody or oversell yourself. Have confidence in yourself and your work and your strengths. I think it helps as well to know the industry and read the trades. Keeping up to speed with trends and timely topics is helpful in lots of ways. It can help you develop new content responding to market trends and what maybe commissioners are looking for. It can help you identify potential collaborators and partners. And it can also help define yourself in the industry. You probably know a lot of these titles already, but sort of started reading the titles that focus on the animation world or Animation Magazine, Kids Screen and Cartoon Brew are some ones that we would recommend.
A key to building your global profile is a little bit of housekeeping, actually getting all your promotional materials and tools in place. Initially having a good website, it doesn't have to be amazing, but just having all the basics there. The website mirrors how you are, how you want to be seen, your individual voice and style. So it's really important that is reflective of your PR and marketing materials as well. Take time, think about how you want to be seen, and have that reflected on your website. A balance of business and creative often works really well. Have your elevator pitch ready. Be ready at any moment to sum up your company or project in one sentence. It might be that you just have that 5 minutes where you can sell yourself at any given time. Again, with your boilerplate and pitch deck, make sure it's really reflective of your style and your individuality. Make it comprehensive but pithy, have company information that highlights your business and creative acumen. Just really use it to sell yourselves.
So what about B2B social media? Well, we talked about how it sits alongside publicity and marketing and combines the best of both. And it can be used in a number of meaningful ways. It can help showcase your studio and your work, obviously, but it can also help you engage with peers, industry leaders and your followers, so you can build your network. And in that sense, it can help you attract partners, talent, interest in what you're doing at the studio. So I think the main thing to note about social media is it's two-way, it's conversational, and it allows you to fully engage with your target. Some tips to help you stand out. I think first off, understand the use of the different platforms, and then you can tailor your approach accordingly. So you wouldn't create some content for Instagram, for example, that you would use on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great for networking. It allows you to post a lot of content. You can really engage with the business community on LinkedIn, and also Twitter as well. Twitter can drive your audience to LinkedIn and vice versa. So those tools can be very well used in a business sense. But obviously we're in a very visual industry. So the likes of Instagram and Pinterest potentially as well are very good for strong visual to really help define you as a studio. I think the other thing to really remember is you need to give people a reason to follow you. So you need to engage with them by offering something interesting. Lots of fresh content drops and conversation. So you can be visual, you can be interactive, you can do some really fun things. You can create interesting collages of things that might inspire you or your work, short videos, memes, gifs, polls, all the things that really catch the eye and inspire people to click through and find out more. Another thing is be consistent. Make sure that you post regularly. There's nothing looks worse than a dormant business social media account. I also think it's important to elevate your industry knowledge by sharing your insights, any commentary, research or tips. You could, for example, come to Kingspoon and just share with your following some of the insights that you've gleaned there. And that's another reason why people would follow you as a thought leader. But ultimately, just create conversation, engage with the people that follow you, your peers, your industry, and that helps define your voice in a crowded space.
So it's really important to have a think about how you get the best out of your PR agency. The most important thing really is choose your agency carefully. No one size fits all. It's a really crowded marketplace, so choose an agency that understands your ethos and can work well with you. Choose an agency you can work in partnership with, someone ensconced in your business and your industry. You really need them to understand what your goals are and who your target audience is and what you're trying to achieve. Choose an agency that has a presence at all the key industry events. It's the key place to meet people, to go to sessions, find out what's going on. You need your PR agency to be ensconced in the business and knowledgeable. And treat them like an in-house team. We find we are much more effective and successful for our clients, helping them achieve their aims if we're really ensconced in what they're doing, where we're talking at a senior level. We understand what's coming down the pipeline far in advance. We find it's much better for us to then go away and be much more strategic. And that's another key point, is being strategic. Work with your agency so that you can plan a proactive campaign together. To achieve that, you need to make sure you brief your agency thoroughly, let them into the inner circle, trust their advice, and also as a company, you need to understand what PR is and what it can deliver, what it can't, and what you want to achieve from it. If you're very new to doing interviews, get some media training. It's really helpful to learn how to manage media interviews and get your key messages across. There are very different styles needed for written PR, but then also audio and video interviews as well. So it can be really helpful to get some training. And also work with your agency to set reasonable expectations. PR is a long-term investment and it often takes time to build a narrative. But the key to all of it is to maintain communication. Your agency can only work with what you tell them. So keep an open conversation and build a symbiotic relationship with your agency.
So I think in summary, it's just good to remember that PR people are storytellers. They create narratives and they're telling your story. So give them as much material as you can to work with so that they can tell the really best stories about your business. A good PR person will help with that. So they'll analyze the organization, they'll really get under the skin of it, understand what defines you as a studio and find those positive messages and help translate them into stories for you. And on the flip side, when the news is bad, they can help formulate the best response and turn a negative into a positive.
So we just want to say thank you for listening today. We hope it's given you some useful insights into the PR and marketing tools you can use to build global industry awareness of your studio and your projects. We're happy to take any questions you may have.